It is Victory Monday, Cardinals fans. I am excited because now we go into the bye week with a positive +2 record at 6-4, sit at the top of the NFC West, and all things are going fantastic for us. Our franchise quarterback Kyler Murray just played one of his best games of his career, if not arguably the best, because this year he also has a perfect passer rating, but Kyler last night, 22 for 24, 3 total touchdowns, also became third in franchise passing yards. Kyler is picking things up and he is playing at a legit MVP level. So it's kind of nice to see, especially as somebody who has been an activist for the longest. You guys know that. I mentioned it in the video yesterday, but it's just like, it's so nice to see it come to fruition because this guy is somebody that I fully believed in and I still do to this day. Playing under center has looked a little shaky at times. I completely understand that. Footwork looked off. It's kind of getting cleaned up as we speak. So I'm very excited to see what Kyler can do for the rest of the year, especially because the run game has been dominant. Trey Benson yesterday, let's go ahead and talk about it. Fantastic outing. Like, legitimately, when Trey Benson makes up his mind, he is one of the best runners you will probably see. Like, he's very decisive. He'll run you over. He's a very quick, power dynamic back, and he reminds me a lot of James Conner, which is why I think it is fantastic that Conner's here in the first place, because Conner, for some reason, is aging like fine wine. I don't understand that. He's like 29, 30 years old, and he is playing the best football of his career the past 2 seasons, and then Trey Benson's here to learn from him. The Cardinals are in a fantastic position taking Benson. I love it. It kind of reminds me like Trey McBride and Zach Ertz, if that makes sense. Maybe the leadership and the connection is a little bit different, but you guys know what I'm saying. You guys have the veteran guy, and then you have a guy right underneath him who is ready to learn and then take over the throne in 1 or 2 years. And I love that for us, man. We are in such a good position, and I can't wait to see how this pans out. And then let's go ahead and speak of Trey McBride, because a couple videos ago, I'd probably say like 4 or 5, I said the focal point of this offense needs to be Trey McBride. And I don't remember when I made this video, but over his last 5 games, Trey McBride, I'm going to assume it was 5 because 5 sounds about right. And if it's not, oh well. But Trey McBride, 8 receptions on 8 targets. Every single target that came to him, he came down with 96 yards in the game against Green Bay. Flip it to the Chargers. 5 receptions, 7 targets, still a good ratio right there for 51 yards. Good game for him, very reliable. If you watch the game, he was a big time reason why we won. Against Miami, was the best player on offense. 9 receptions, 11 targets, 124 yards. Ridiculous, Trey. And then against Chicago, 3 receptions, 4 targets, 35 yards. A very quiet game, but a dominant win. The run game was fantastic, and that's why his numbers were down. The run looks that dominant, you don't shy away from it. Then against the Jets, 4 receptions, 5 targets, 71 yards. You can argue that Trey McBride is either the first or the second best player in this offense. I would say number 1 is Kyler. I think he's playing at such an elite level, and I've been saying that even since week 1. You guys can go back and check that, and it's kind of nice because it's on tape. Trey McBride and James Conner are right there at 2A and 2B. Like, genuinely, they are playing fantastic football. And honestly, you could even argue James Conner. Like, that's just how, like, nice this offense has been. Talent-wise, we are fantastic. We're set offensively. If the defense can keep playing at the rate they're playing at too, which we're going to dabble in just a second, we're going to be in a fantastic spot. The Cardinals defense this season has been pretty interesting. And for the past 2 weeks, we have held the Bears to 9 points. Not a fantastic offense, but great defense regardless. And then the Jets to 6, who have a Hall of Fame quarterback and 2 legit threats. I don't really care. If you have Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, Breece Hall, you have all these guys on offense, and the offensive line is a little shaky, which I get that. The pass rush for the Cardinals kind of dominated, and their O-line was garbage. But to lock the Jets up to 6 points is ridiculous. That's impressive regardless, and I am super impressed by our defensive backs. Budda Baker obviously is in a category upper echelon of his own. Like, Budda Baker, I can make an entire video on the way he's playing this season, break down film. He's ridiculous. He swarms to the ball. He just does so many things right, and I legitimately could make that video. So that's what I'm saying with Budda. Ridiculous player, fantastic season. He's already at 100+ tackles. But the defensive backs yesterday, Jalen Thompson out. Dadrian Taylor-Demerson steps in, plays a fantastic game. Garrett Williams continues to be a legit elite level corner this season. Like, this year, you could argue he's a Pro Bowler. You genuinely could. That's how good he's been. Starling Thomas as well, complimenting him on the other side, has looked great. Sean Murphy-Bunting, he played. This is his first game back, and he got a holding call. When Max Melton was in, I thought he played better. That's why I think we need to rock with him. Bench Sean Murphy-Bunting. Please! I genuinely think it is that easy. That's what I think we need to do going forward, because the Cardinals offensively are fine. And with the defensive backs that are Garrett Williams, Sean Murphy-Bunting on the bench, you got Max Melton and then Starling Thomas, You rock those 3 guys and you are in a good spot, and if one of them go down, then Sean Murphy-Bunting can come in here. That's a veteran, you know. It is what it is. That's a guy that I was actually really excited we signed, and I thought he could actually have a better season, but he's still just a hold merchant. Like, some things you can't fix. That wasn't fixed. That's a swing and a miss, and you got to bite that on the chin. But the Cardinals defense and Nick Rallis have been balling. So if we can continue this in the bye week, get better, get healthier, get Darius Robinson potentially back, get Jonah Williams potentially back, and the O-line is playing great as it stands right now too, in the run and the pass, it's just going to allow this team to make a legit deep run into the playoffs and potentially win the NFC West. Now, a lot of things are going to have to go right because the 49ers are right on our bumper. They're getting healthy. They just got Christian McCaffrey back. So looking at this from like a legit realistic point of view, it's going to be tough because there's teams in the NFC that are dominating. Like, you have Detroit at 8-1, Philadelphia at 7-2, the Falcons 6-4, Cardinals 6-4, and Minnesota is 7-2, and they're second in the division. Then you have teams like the Commanders who have 7 wins, the Packers at 6, the 49ers at 5-4, and the Rams, they're sneaking up to at 4-4. They're getting healthy right now. They just got Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua back, so it's going to be very difficult to make the playoffs. So for the Cardinals to make the playoffs, they're probably going to have to win the NFC West. If we can win like 10 plus games, I think we're there. If we win 10, get 4 for the rest of the season, I think we got that. But we would have to go 4-3 to end the year. Very possible because the teams we're playing are pretty easy. But again, you have to take care of business. And if you want to get there and you want to potentially play in the big game, the Super Bowl, you have to win the games that you have to win. Obviously, you got to win the ones that you're supposed to. The Cardinals are in a great spot. We sit number 1 in the NFC West, like I said. We have 6-4 going into the bye. Should be getting healthy. Should be getting a lot of our guys back, and I am very excited because Jalen Thompson might come back fully healthy too. Hoping for that. Gives our guys a rest, but I think they're going to work. I think they're going to put their heads down, and they know what's at stake here. They want to win, and if the Cardinals do, then, I mean, those playoffs and that experience is going to be huge for this team. Getting Marvin Harrison in the playoffs early, Kyler Murray in the playoffs again because the one time he was there didn't go fantastic. Everybody was banged up. The offense looked abysmal. He looked abysmal. He wants another crack at this thing, and I don't think that'll ever happen again, but Kyler Murray needs to get there and get the experience because early quarterbacks in the league that were struggling, like a Peyton Manning, for example, when he struggled early on, he was in the playoffs. First couple seasons, within the first like 6, I believe, he was in the playoffs like 2 or 3 times. So if Kyler Murray can get back to that game, we're in a good spot. We got to get him back to the playoffs, so this team has to will their way there, and we got to continue to play good defense. That is the focal point right here. Offensively, I'm not worried. If the defense can hold up, we're going to get 10 wins. Book this. With that being said, that is going to wrap up today's video, man. Let me know how you guys are feeling about this season down in the comment section below and how many wins you guys think we're going to end with. And also, if you guys are new to the channel and ended up enjoying today's video, man, consider hitting that subscribe button. I post Arizona Cardinals and NFL related content, so if you're a fan of either of those, this is the perfect channel for you. But like I said, man, that is all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.